Hey guys, just want to thank you all for coming to today's webinar. I know everybody is busy, it's a busy time of year, so I do appreciate everybody taking the time out. So my name is Scott Young and I'm the Manager of Products and Services here at Alloy Computer Products. Today we're going to cover a high-level overview of some of the core audio and video solutions for Microsoft Teams, and we'll have a look at how Alloy is driving successful deployments for resellers of all sizes. Any questions that you guys might have throughout the webinar, if you can put them into the chat section, that'd be great. We might get time to get to them throughout the presentation, but if not, we'll definitely get to all those questions at the end of the session. All right, so today we're going to have a look at calling solutions, so voice solutions for Microsoft Teams. We're going to have a look at the Windows and Android video or MTR solutions for Microsoft Teams. We're going to have a quick look at why you should partner with Alloy and how Alloy are helping our resellers help your customers to install successful video and audio solutions with Microsoft Teams. We'll also have a look at national installation services that we now have available for all of our resellers. And then we'll also have a quick look at an end of financial year program that Yealink are currently running for some of their products. All right, so before we move into the range of products, what I want to quickly do is just have a quick look at this slide and just show you how much growth Microsoft Teams has had during the current pandemic. When the pandemic hit in early 2020, Microsoft saw a 894% growth between the month of March and June. Over the last 5 years, Microsoft have gone from 2 million active daily users to 145 million active daily users. So in March alone this year, there was 4.1 billion minutes of Teams calls and meetings on their platform, which is quite crazy. Now, at the end of 2019, which is a couple of years ago now, there was more than 500,000 companies that were using Microsoft Teams as their default messaging platform. All right, so taking a look at Yealink. Yealink is the primary team solution that Alloy offer to their partners. Yealink have come a long way. They truly are a remarkable organization. When I have a look at some of the stats that they have succeeded in over the years, it is crazy. So Yealink have been rated the #1 SIP phone in terms of generic SIP phone sales globally since 2018. Now, since Yealink released their Teams phones onto the market, which was only 3 years ago, they now have attained over 60% of the Teams phone market share. Over 80% of Microsoft's top 55 customers are now using Yealink products. So Yealink first introduced Microsoft certified devices back in 2015. And this started with their T4 series of phones for Link and Skype for Business. They then moved into Teams phones in 2018, and then a full range of both voice solutions and video solutions and personal device solutions for Microsoft Teams. So Yealink are the only vendor on the market that has a complete solution for Microsoft Teams. They've got personal speaker phones, USB headsets, desktop phones, audio conference phones, MTR solutions for Windows. So that's Microsoft Teams room solutions for Windows, MTR solutions for Android. They've got BYOD solutions for Teams and other platforms. They've got video phones. They've got Team scheduler panels, which are about to be released into the market. And they've also recently released an AI-enabled speaker called their M-Speech. So looking at this slide here, comparing to the rest of the vendors in the market, Yealink really are leaps and bounds ahead of some of those other competitors. Okay, let's have a look at some of the voice solutions from Yealink for Microsoft Teams. Okay, so Yealink have a complete range of desktop phones for all different areas of the company. So starting at the bottom end, they've got the MP50, which is a USB-enabled phone. So this actually plugs in via USB into your PC and then syncs with your Microsoft Teams client that's running on your desktop. We then have the MP54, MP56, and MP58 range of IP phones. These are all the latest phones from Yealink in the market, and they replace the T55, T56, and T58. Yealink also have the VP59 video phone and the CP960 audio conferencing phone. Now, all of these devices support Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Now, the MP54 itself doesn't have built-in Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but it is supported via USB dongles. Now, the MP50 itself doesn't support Wi-Fi, is only Bluetooth, and that's so you can pair a Bluetooth headset to that phone. Doesn't support Wi-Fi because there's no need, as it is a USB device that plugs into your PC. Now, all the MP series of Yealink audio devices are all running Android 9, and they will have the ability to upgrade to Android 11 in the future. Now, another unique feature on one of these phones is the MP58. So the MP58 actually has a model available that supports a Bluetooth handpiece. Now, some people might go, okay, Bluetooth handpiece, don't really see the point of that. But what Yealink are trying to do is kind of get around the problem that a lot of companies are facing when they do roll out Microsoft Teams, where there's no DEC solution at the moment for Microsoft Teams. So there's no DEC phone on the market that supports Microsoft Teams. So what Yealink have done is they've brought out a kind of a receptionist phone, or a phone that I see could potentially be used in retail, where they have a Bluetooth-enabled handpiece. So the handpiece that you see where you normally pick up and has the cord connected from the handpiece to the phone, this is Bluetooth. It actually has phone control options on the handpiece, so you can answer the call, hang up the call, turn the volume up and down via buttons on this handpiece. So I can see this with a receptionist who's moving away from their desk to go and pick up files or whatnot, or a retail store where they're going to, they've answered a call and they need to quickly go and check if something's in stock. So that's, again, something unique for Yealink, and something that they're trying to overcome the problem where there's no DEC solutions at the moment for Microsoft Teams. Now, as I said earlier on, there is a phone for every single environment in your organization. We've got the VP59 and MP58 for your execs. We've got MP56s and 54s for your standard office workers. Common area phones, we've got the MP54. We've got USB speaker phones for personal collaboration. and we've got the CP960 or CP960WM, which comes with the wireless mics that can be also used for audio collaboration. So there really is a solution for every single application that businesses might have. Now, another unique and I think really cool feature with the Yealink Teams phones is the ability to enable what they call hybrid mode. So what hybrid mode allows us to do is actually run SIP and Teams on the same phone. So the way this is done, and for those of you that don't know, a Teams phone runs Android. So in the back end, it's an Android phone, and we run the Microsoft Teams APK file over the top of that Android phone. That APK file is completely built by Microsoft. So no matter what vendor you use, they are all using that same Microsoft Teams application. So what Yealink have done with the hybrid mode is the phone's actually running two applications at the same time. It runs a Teams application and it runs the SIP application. So you can switch between these two applications instantaneously. There's no rebooting the phone to load a different version of firmware up or rebooting to change from Teams to SIP. Doesn't need to be done. By the click of a small little button, we can change between Teams and SIP applications. If you're on a SIP call and a Teams call comes in, the application will switch and give you the ability to put the SIP call on hold and answer the Teams phone call, and vice versa. Now, one thing that you can't do is actually merge a Teams call and a SIP call together. They are separate applications and therefore are independent of each other. Now, some of you might be thinking, why do we need to use SIP and Teams together? I think one of the major usage scenarios here is for migrating. So if your customers have an on-premise PBX, they've been running a SIP PBX on-premise for some time, but they do have that, well, they are looking at migrating to Microsoft Teams in the near future. Being able to have a single phone that connects to their on-premise PBX and then also be able to run the Teams application that connects to the Microsoft Teams network allows the company to be able to slowly migrate from their SIP PBX to Teams. Or potentially they might be using their SIP PBX on-premise permanently, but they're using Microsoft Teams for collaboration. So from the same handpiece, we can answer SIP calls, make our outgoing phone calls and receive incoming calls on our SIP PBX, but we can use the Teams application to be able to talk to our internal staff members. Now, another scenario is redundancy. Being a Teams phone and running Teams, it's all a cloud solution. If you lose internet access, you lose your phone system. So what we can do is we can run an on-premise PBX or an on-premise session border controller where our handsets register via SIP to this on-premise solution, which might connect via a 4G modem for redundancy or something similar, where it will give the ability for our users to be able to still connect to a phone system if the Teams platform does go down or if the internet does go down. Okay, so moving on to some of the personal devices from Yealink. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on these devices today. So I just want to make you aware that Yealink do have webcams available that are all or both certified for Microsoft Teams. That's the UBC 30 and the UBC 20. They have a range of speakerphones as well, all certified for Microsoft Teams. And they do have a range of headsets. So we will have a look at a few of the headsets today. Oops, wrong slide. Sorry guys, I'll come back to that one. All right, so over the last probably 6 months, Yealink have really spent a lot of effort on releasing headsets into the market. As we all know, with the work from home scenarios and whatnot, USB headsets have been in hot demand. So Yealink have released a complete range of USB-enabled Teams certified headsets. So we've got the UH34 range of headsets and also the UH36 range of headsets. Now, both of these headsets also have a control unit on these headsets where we can mute, hang up, and alter the volume to the headset. Now, also being a Teams certified headset, they do have the Teams button on that control panel as well. Because there's a closer look at that control panel. And with the UH36 as well, it also has a 3.5mm jack. So that control panel can be disconnected and the headset can be connected to an iPad or an older mobile phone that still has a 3.5mm jack. And you can use that for those devices as well. Or it connects via USB to your PC or to a desktop phone that supports USB. Now, another series of headsets that Yealink have released that have gained a lot of attention over the past probably 3 to 6 months is their wireless range of headsets. So there's around 6 different models available, starting from the WH62 going up to the WH67. So WH62 is available in both a dual and mono solution. Comes with a charging base, which again, because it is Teams certified, does have a Teams button on that base. Now, just for you guys, if you don't know, so the Teams button, which is on all IP phones, Teams certified IP phones and headsets, what this does is, if you press a button, it'll launch your Teams application on your desktop. If you get a notification or a missed call in Teams, that Teams button will actually flash, and you can click on that button and it will obviously launch the Teams application on your desktop. Now, like I said, WH62 mono and duo. We then moved to the WH63, which is the convertible style headset where there's 3 or 4 different wearing styles. So you've got over the head, on the ear. So different wearing styles for that headset. And then we moved to the WH66, which again is available in duo or mono. Now, the main difference here between the 66 and the 62, as you can see in the picture, is the base. So this base has a full 4.3-inch touchscreen where you can have full audio control of your phone call or meeting. So you can mute, you can answer anything that, or full call control. Now, another great thing about the WH66 and 67 base is it actually has a built-in speakerphone as well. So it's got a built-in mic and a built-in speaker. So for some users, you are on the phone all day. You're wearing your headset all day. Sometimes it just gets annoying. So being able to actually put the headset down onto the base, the headset will automatically switch to speakerphone, and it gives you a really sharp audio experience via that microphone and speaker built into the base. So the WH67 is the same again, but this time it has the convertible style headset. Now, another thing with the 66 and 67 is it does have 2 built-in USB 3 ports. So if you are using the only USB port on your PC, you can plug additional USB devices via the headset. Now, there's also a couple of headset accessories that are available from Yealink. As you can see in the picture on this screen here, that is a wireless well, not iPhone, but mobile phone charger. So that actually plugs into the headset and can sit nicely next to the complete, what Yealink are calling the complete UC workstation. So your mobile phone can also pair to the headset via Bluetooth, and you can then have complete control of your mobile, desk phone, and PC all from a single headset solution. Now, another cool thing is the busy light. So all these headsets support the busy light functionality. So with a lot of other vendors, the busy light feature or device is not available, or you need to buy a third-party solution to support it. So what a busy light does really is it's just a LED light that sits on top of your monitor, for example, and if you're in a call, it'll be red. If you're not in a call, it'll be green. So it's just showing people around you that you are busy and do not come and interrupt. All right, next one I'm going to get to kind of moves a little bit away from Yealink for the time being. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here. We will do a separate webinar on this in the coming weeks. But recently, Pattern have now had all of their SBC devices certified for Microsoft Teams. So if you are looking at rolling out voice solutions for Microsoft Teams and you're looking at SBCs for direct routing or SBCs for connection from Teams to on-premise SIP devices, the Pattern devices are now certified, and they are available still with FXS, FXO, ISDN type connections, which is kind of redundant now in Australia, but lots of different options there that we will look at a future webinar. Now, one slide that was out of place, which I'll quickly go back to, was another direct routing solution that Alloy are now offering. Now, for those of you who didn't know, we have an Alloy voice solution, which we provide SIP trunking solutions for IPPBXs. And now recently, we have also released our direct routing functionality through Alloy Voice. So this allows you as resellers to go out and sell a voice solution for Microsoft Teams. For those of you who don't know what direct routing is, I'll quickly just give you a 2-minute spiel. So if you're not using Telstra calling for Microsoft Teams and you want to enable outside PSTN or mobile connectivity to your Teams users and phones, we need to have what we call a direct routing connection to an SBC. So that SBC you can host yourself, whether that's in a virtual SBC in the cloud or whether it's a physical SBC on premise. You then can connect SIP trunks to that SBC, which allow you to route calls from your Teams devices to and from the PSTN and mobile network. So what Alloy Voice have done is, or Alloy and Alloy Voice, is we have SBCs in the cloud already. So we do all that hard work for you. And all you need to do is purchase plans or channels in this instance for your customers. Now, one of the differentiators here as well, if any of you guys have looked at some of the calling plans for Telstra, with the Telstra ones, it's all a per user, and all users need to be on the same plan within Microsoft Teams. What we do is we allow you to, and we make it more like a phone system. So we can enable you to set up channels. So for instance, you might have 10 users in your on your Teams platform, but not all 10 users are making and receiving calls all the time. So what we can do is we can give you 4 channels that allow all of those 10 phones to be able to make and receive calls, only we limit it to 4 calls at a time. So if you are looking at a direct routing solution, please talk to your Alloy account managers. Pretty straightforward solution. All we need from you guys is to make sure you do have an appropriate Teams license on your platform. You then need to pick a plan from us. We've only got 2 different plans. It's either a rated calls plan where you pay for your calls, or it's an unlimited call plan where obviously all of your calls are unlimited. There's no call costs involved there. You can port phone numbers, existing phone numbers into our platform, or we can provide you with new numbers if need be. And then last thing you need, team certified devices. Whether you're running with IP phones or you're running with headsets, that's entirely up to your customer. So if you do have any more questions in regards to that, feel free to put them in the chat. But if you do want additional information, please talk to your Alloy account manager. Sorry guys, had that slide out of place. All right, now let's have a look at some of the video devices for Microsoft Teams. All right, so Yealink have a range of video solutions for every single room type you can think of. They cover all bases here, from focus and small rooms all the way up to extra large training rooms where you might need multiple cameras. They also have 3 different types of video solutions. We have MTR for Windows, MTR for Android, and we also have what we call the BYOD meeting kits. Okay, so we'll start with the BYD solutions. Now there's 3 different solutions or SKUs available for Yealink. That's the UVC 30 BYD kit, UVC 40, and the UVC 84. So for those of you that don't know, when we say a BYOD kit, what this means is that we can use these audio and video solutions to connect to an existing PC or notebook, and we can then run any video platform we need to. So we're not stuck with Teams, we're not stuck with Zoom, we're not stuck with Cisco WebEx. We can bring in a computer, we fire up whatever software application we want, and we then have a meeting with that application that we have chosen to use. So with the BYD kits, what they do is they connect to your computer via USB. So your camera will connect via USB, and then you will simply connect, depending on the room that you've got. Most meeting rooms are going to have a TV or a screen on the wall. So we then connect a HDMI cable from your computer or notebook to that screen on the wall, and then we can run whatever application we want from your notebook or your dedicated PC that you might have in your meeting room. Now, another good thing about this is there's no content sharing devices needed. Because we are running the conference on our computer, on the same computer that we're using for all our other applications, we can run our video conference on Zoom or on Teams or on Google, whatever it might be, and then we can also share our PowerPoint presentations and whatnot from the same device. Now with the, so looking at the UVC 30, so we can see, and the 40, we can see that there's also what they call a BYOD box from Yealink. So what this is a USB hub with a HDMI port on the hub as well. So we connect this box to our PC. Our camera device would then plug into a USB port on the BYOD box, and our HDMI cable from our TV or screen will connect to the HDMI port on the BYOD box. So for those Mac users and notebook users that like their slimline notebooks that only have one USB port or one USB-C port, this BYOD box allows you to connect multiple USB devices to that PC. All right, now we'll move on to the Android solutions from Yealink. So the main feature differences between Android and Windows have actually decreased significantly with the release of the A20 and the A30. So back when Yealink first released their VC210, there were some major differences between a Windows-based MTR solution and an Android-based solution. So these main differences were being able to run dual screens, being able to support content sharing, and also being able to support 1080p. But now with the A20 and the A30 solutions, we now have dual screen support. We can now content share via the WPP20 or the VCH51 with a little asterisk on top of that, guys, because the WPP20 and VCH51 content sharing not yet available, but coming very soon. And then we also have the support for 1080p. So those differences between a Windows and Android solution have now shrunk dramatically. One of the main differences now, one of the only differences really, I should say, between an Android MTR solution and a Windows-based solution is on the Android solutions, you don't have the ability to be able to join Zoom or Cisco WebEx meetings as a guest like you do with the Windows solutions. And looking at some of the specs of these devices, so you might notice that these devices kind of look very similar to some of the other devices from Yealink. So the A20, very similar look, or exactly the same look as the UVC40, but the A20 has built-in processor and runs an Android client itself. The A30, again, built-in Android, running an Android client inside, and also has a dual camera solution that allows you to do picture-in-picture, speaker tracking. Both these A20 and A30 also have 8 built-in mics and also come with speakers built into the solution. Now with the A20 and A30 as well, we also have a dedicated touchscreen control for these devices. So a lot of the other, or even the VC210 from Yealink, it never had the touchscreen support, so you had to use a little remote control to control the meeting. Now with the touchscreen support, it makes it a lot easier for you to control a meeting and invite people into a meeting and so on. All right, so another cool feature that's coming very soon for the A20 and the A30 is the ability to be able to run the A20 and A30 as a biod solution as well. So what this means is we still have that built-in Android where we can run a native Teams meeting, but then we also have the ability via a third-party box, which is a Yealink VCH51, to be able to enable us to use the camera, mic, and speaker on the A20 as a biod solution connecting to a PC. So we now get the best of both worlds. We now get a dedicated Teams meeting room, but also the ability to be able to run third-party applications on our PC via the VCH51 sharing box, which is basically going to be a USB connection from your PC, and then an Ethernet connection from the VCH51 to the A20 or A30. All right, now let's have a look at the Windows-based MTR solutions from Yealink. Now, as you've probably noticed, I'm not going into a great deal of detail in regards to specifications. I'm really just trying to run over the solutions at a high level so you guys know what is there, what's available for you guys to offer to your customers. So we have a full range of Windows-based MTRs. As you can see from the slide itself, you'll see that every kit on the MVC side has what they call an M core, which is running the Windows 10 platform. So every solution here runs Windows 10. Every solution here also has what they call the M-Touch 2, which is our control panel, which we use for controlling the meeting, controlling the camera, content sharing, etc. So the main differences between all of these kits is going to be the video and the audio devices that are paired with it. So starting on the left-hand side, we've got the MVC 400, which comes with the UVC 40 all-in-one video and audio soundbar. We then have the MVC 640, which, as you can see from the screen, main difference here is we're using the UVC 84 camera and we're using the new M-Speech speakerphone. Moving up to the MVC 840, we're now using the VCM 34 wired mics along with the UVC 84 camera and the M speaker 2 soundbar. And then on the 940, this is where we start to look at the multi-camera training room or auditorium solution, where this kit doesn't actually come with any audio devices at all. The solution does support up to 9 cameras. Now you can add on Yealink audio kit, or you can use third-party audio kit that might already be existing in larger training room spaces or auditorium spaces. Okay, so it's the same as the A20 and the A30. Later this quarter, we're also going to see the ability for a Windows-based MTR solution to be able to run in BIOD mode, meaning we can connect the device to our PC and utilize the audio and the video from this device into our PC and run whatever video application we want to use. Okay, one thing that's great about all the Yealink kit, especially all the Windows-based MVC kit, is the way it all connects together. So when we're deploying MVC kit, for a lot of you resellers out there, this is probably going to be the hardest part for you guys. You know, you might be IT guys, you've used Teams on desktops, and you've used IP phones, you've come from a VoIP background, but a lot of us haven't come from a VC background. You know, how do we set up a meeting room so we've got good audio quality? How do we set it up so we're hiding cables and it looks nice and neat for our customers? You know, this part is the most difficult part. Well, what Yealink have done is tried to make it as easy as possible to install these devices into a meeting room. And one of the great solutions here is the ability to be able to run a single Ethernet cable from the MCore box, which is our main compute box running Windows 10, connecting back to the touch control panel that sits on your desk. So in the older generation kit from Yealink, it was a USB connection. We had distance limitations and things like that arose with USB, whereas when we're using Ethernet, those distance limitations are extended. You know, we've got up to 30 meters that we can run with the Cat5 cable rather than 10 meters with a USB cable. You know, obviously we can get further with a USB cable by using extenders, but then we're adding devices into the network that become a single point of failure. So being able to run single Ethernet cables to connect some of the main components of the kit makes it really easy for us to deploy these platforms for our customers. Now, one of the really exciting parts I think that Yealink have done with their MVC kits is the ability to be able to connect their video and their audio devices via Ethernet. So we can now, with the new UVC 84 kit, the new M Speaker 2 kit, the VCM 34 mic, the VCM 38 ceiling mic, we can now connect all of these devices via Ethernet. So looking at this diagram, I know it's a little hard to make out, but we can actually connect up to 4 speakers via a PoE switch, which then connect back to the camera via Ethernet as well. We can then connect up to 6 VCM34 tabletop mics or up to 8 VCM38 ceiling mics, all via Ethernet. So this makes deployment of these audio devices even easier. We don't need to run power to these speakers anymore. We don't need to run power to the camera anymore. We don't need to run power to the mics. It's all PoE powered. Now, when we look at the larger MVC94 solution, we can run the cameras via Ethernet into a single PoE switch, which then connects back to the camera hub. And then we can also run the speakers and the mics via Ethernet into a separate PoE switch, which again connects back to the camera hub. So the audio component and the video component are separated into two networks, utilizing a single PoE switch each, which then connect back to the camera hub, which then connects back to the M-Core. And that's a little bit hard to kind of picture all of that. But if we look at the diagram now, we can see that with the MVC840 solution, we can see that we've got the mics all connected back into a PoE switch. The speakers connected to a PoE switch. The camera itself again connects to a PoE switch, and we've then got that single USB cable from the camera back to the M-Core compute device. So it just makes wiring and powering a lot easier for deployment. All right, looking at some of the unique features or the AI features of some of the Yealink components. So the A20, A30, UVC40, and the soon to be released UVC86 all support AI features such as auto framing and speaker tracking. So just a quick note on what those features are. So auto framing, what's going to happen there is the camera will automatically zoom in, zoom out, pan, tilt, whatever it needs to do to fit all the people into the center of the video frame. So if you have one person sitting at a conference room table, the camera will zoom in on that one person. If a second person walks into the meeting room, sits down next to them, the camera will automatically zoom out to fit both of those people into the center of the video frame. Speaker tracking, on the other hand, will detect who is speaking in the meeting and zoom into that person. Now, some of these AI features sound amazing. Some people love them, some people hate them. And the reason I say that is because if you're on the other end of the meeting and a camera is moving around, zooming in, zooming out, fitting people in, switching between one speaker to another, it can be annoying. But some people love it. So the features are there in case your customers want to use it. Now, moving on to the M-Speech solution, this is a new audio device that has AI capabilities from Yealink. It supports voice recognition, voice transcription, Cortana, and also language translation as well. In terms of Cortana, in new releases of the Teams MTR solutions, you will be able to voice control your MTR device. Cortana, please start meeting. Cortana, please mute your mic. Cortana, end meeting. Things like that. Now, in terms of voice transcription, what we can do here is we can actually, or the device itself, can transcribe your entire meeting. So the device itself will learn a person's voice. You will name that person and set up this transcription first. So you need to teach the system what voice is who. And then the M-Speech will transcribe your entire meeting, and you can go back and have a look at who said what, when they said it. And for people that miss the meeting, they can go back and look through that transcription. All right, looking at some of the audio solutions for the Yealink gear. So we've got the M-Speech, which we've already talked about. M-Speech has 6 built-in mics, It supports up to 6 meter voice pickup range, full duplex, and also connects to your M-Core or to your PC via USB. Now, the M-Speech can also be daisy chained, so it supports up to 2 of these devices. And the way these 2 devices connect is via a 3.5mm audio cable. Then we move on to the CPW90 wireless mics. These support up to 4 units. They have 3 meter voice pickup and can be connected to pretty much every MVC unit except for the 840 at this point, and the 640, sorry, at this point. It supports connection to the old MVC 500, and it will support connection to the UVC 400 and also the 940. Now moving on to the VCM34. So this is a wired tabletop microphone, has 3 built-in mics. It again supports up to 6 meters of voice pickup, and it is connected via Ethernet back to the UVC camera that you're using on your kit. Now we can have up to 6 of these units daisy chained together, or they can be connected via separate Ethernet cables into a PO switch if need be. Now, a recent addition to the Yealink kit is the VCM38 ceiling mic. So this kit has 8 built-in microphones. We can support up to 8 of these units on a single MVC solution. It has up to 4 meters of voice pickup range, and again is connected via Ethernet. Now, unlike the VCM34, which has 2 Ethernet ports so you can data chain the units together, the VCM38 only has a single Ethernet port, so all mics need to connect back to a PoE switch. Now, the VCM38 also comes with a telescopic mounting pole, which is adjustable from 30 centimeters to 60 centimeters. So if you do have a room with fairly high ceilings, you can mount the mic up to 60 centimeters lower than the ceiling. Okay, moving in onto the content sharing. So content sharing is available in 2 different ways with the MVC kits. So we can do wired content sharing via the M-Touch panel. So the M-Touch panel has a USB-C port on the unit, and you can run a USB-C to HDMI connection to connect to your notebook, or USB-C direct into your notebook if your notebook supports that. Or we also have the ability for the WPP20 wireless content sharing device. So the WPP20 is a USB dongle, plugs into your notebook and connects wirelessly back to the built-in access point on the M-Touch 2 panel. Okay, now another kind of differentiator for Yealink as well is the built-in camera control on the Teams application. So on your M-Touch control panel, you have the ability there for camera control. So from the camera control, we can pan, tilt, zoom the camera that's connected to the MVC kit. Now, another thing that we can do in regard to the MVC 940, with the multi-camera solution, is we can actually select what camera is going to be displayed into the meeting, the layout of the camera, so whether it's a single camera feed, whether it's 4 equal camera feeds, or whether it's 1 large camera feed with smaller additional camera feeds around the outside. And we can also select presets from the touch panel as well. Okay, so moving on to the MVC 940, which is a training or large auditorium space solution where we can have up to 9 cameras on a single MVC system. So again, as I was speaking earlier on, The audio devices can all be connected via Ethernet, so we can utilize the VCM38 ceiling speakers, we can use the M speaker sound bars, all connected via Ethernet. So deployment in these large rooms becomes a lot easier with Ethernet connected devices. Okay, a couple of the new devices that are coming out into the market from Yealink is the UBC86. So this will be a dual camera solution that will support auto framing and speaker tracking. So the main difference here between the 84, so the UBC84, obviously a single camera solution, supports auto framing but doesn't support speaker tracking. So the UBC86 will support both AI features. The camera is also a 4K camera. So being two cameras, we have the main 12 times optical zoom camera with a 90-degree field of view. And then we have the smaller 4K camera with a 120-degree field of view. And this unit will also have built-in mics to also help with that speaker tracking capability. And then we also have support for picture-in-picture in a meeting as well. All right, guys, I am running a little bit behind time here. I'll try and speed some of this up. So the next new device into the market is the team scheduling panel. So what this device will do is this is a device that will sit outside of your meeting room, potentially in a receptionist area. And what we can do from this device is actually look at all of the meeting rooms that are available in your office. We can look at what meeting room is available, what meeting room is already booked, and then we can and from that scheduling panel, we can book a meeting room if you want to, or if need be, and with the certain rights, you can also cancel meetings. Now, along with this scheduling panel, there's also going to be a room sensor. So your room sensor will sit in the room and it will detect when people are in that room. So for instance, there's no meeting booked in conference room 1, yet a person has just walked in and started the meeting. That room sensor will detect that somebody's moved into the room and it will make that room unavailable. Or it could be from the other side where a room was scheduled to be used, but 10 minutes after the scheduled time, nobody's come into the room. So this device will, using that sensor, it'll make the room available for booking again. All right, we've spoken enough about the products. Why do you guys want to partner with us? Why partner with Alloy? Okay, so Alloy has been in the UC market since around 2003. We're one of the first distributors dedicated distributors to take on voice over IP back in the early days. Now, ever since that date, that is where our business has turned to. It's been everything voice over IP and UC collaboration. We have technical staff with over 30 years of experience. We have sales staff with over 15 years of experience in the UC field. We have pre-sales consulting services available. You guys get a installation for a customer. You have no idea what devices you should be putting into these rooms. That's what we're here for. You bring that solution to us, and we will find out what products we think are going to work best in those rooms. We have proof of concept gear available. We have learn and demo gear available. You guys need a piece of kit to go out, send to your customer that they can use to trial the product. Come to us, we'll have it available. We might not have it available straight away, but we will have it available. Delivery options, we can drop ship these devices directly to your customer if you need be. We have installation services, which I'll get to next. We have technical trainers in the organization that can run vendor certified reseller training. We have training now available for the Yealink Microsoft gear. If you're interested, please go to the training section on our website. register your interest. We'll have a training session running on the Yealink gear sometime in July. We can also do training for your end users. Every end user is different. We can tailor the training material to your customers, to your own staff if you need to. If you do have training requirements, please talk to your Alloy account manager. We have local stock. We have local warranty and replacement parts for all of this kit. If a part of an MVC kit fails, get an RA number from the website or contact support, and we'll get that product replaced for you. Another thing that we do is room readiness assessments. This kind of comes hand in hand with the pre-sales consulting. We can go out to your customer's office. We can work out what needs to be done in that room to fit it out with an MVC or a video conferencing kit. We can tell you we need a PowerPoint over here. We need a data outlet here. We can do all of that for you and give you a report and a quote to get that done. And then we also have that after sales technical support. You have problems after you've installed it, you come to us, we'll help you. If you need help configuring the devices while you are installing it, contact our support team. Always happy to help out you guys and make it easier for you guys to install this equipment for your customers, and make it as easy as possible for you, the reseller. You know, we also have end user support tickets available. If you as a reseller, all you want to do is sell the kit to the customer, you don't want to support it, sell them an end user support ticket. They can then come to Alloy directly and support, and Alloy will support them directly rather than hassling you guys. You can go out and keep selling like you, if that's something that you guys want to do. All right, installation services. This is something that we've introduced this year. And what we've enabled is for resellers of any size to be able to offer a professional room solution for your customers. Like I said earlier on, some of you guys might be from UC backgrounds or VoIP backgrounds. You have no idea how to set up a meeting room. You know, you're not AV specialists. What we can do is we have a national installation team using a third-party company that can go out and, again, do room readiness assessments. Make sure that the kit we're going to install in that room is going to fit the needs of the size of the room. We can then, once that room readiness assessment is done, we can provide you a report, and then we can quote on the installation of these services. And this is available Australia-wide. So not only will we go out and install the kit for you, but we'll also configure that kit. If it's a Teams kit, configure that Teams kit to your Teams tenant, providing you give us the details for that room. And then we also have ongoing support for the installation and the kit that's been installed in those rooms. Now that support can also be on-site support if needed. Now we can go out and reconfigure audio equipment if you know, they've decided that the room, you know, the audio pickup in the room isn't big enough and we need to add a second or a third mic into that kit. We can do all of that for you as well. So once again, any more information you want on any of those installation services, please contact your Alloy account manager. Okay, guys, I know I've gone a little bit over time. We're just about to finish up now. So lastly, this is a end of financial year promotion from Yealink. So what they're doing now is one of their very popular USB headsets. Normally reseller buy for the UH36-D is $83. You can now get it for $69 if you buy a minimum of 10 units. Now, this promo is available up until July 15th. So if you are interested, again, talk to your Alloy account manager or email sales@alloy. All right, guys, that's it. I know it's quite a lot to take in, and I probably did rush through some of that stuff. But now we'll have a look at some of the questions that you guys might have. I'll have a look at the Q&A panel, which I haven't got to yet. Okay, XP50 compatibility mark on the MP series phones. So everything except the MP54 will support the XP50. Okay, is Allo Voice moving to Operator Connect when it is available? Probably not. So I have seen a early release with that Operator Connect in Microsoft Teams. Now, I think by looking at it, Microsoft are bringing in companies that are global. I don't think it's going to be just a national-wide company. It needs to be global to support Teams calling outside of your company, but it is something that I'll look into. So yeah, don't have an answer for that just yet, Bernard. Can we also use other direct routing solutions? Yes, you can use whatever direct routing solution you want. Jude, that's, yeah, if you want to, there's lots of different companies now that are providing direct routing solutions. So you can, talk to any of those companies. They will help you out and provide a direct routing solution. You can use Teams calling if, Telstra Teams calling if you want to go down that path. Or, yeah, you can use any direct routing solution you want, or you buy an SBC and you do it yourself. Okay, Bernard, I think the camera still needs power. Not anymore. So with the UVC 84, the camera doesn't need power. I know that diagram did show it having a power supply, but I can definitely confirm, have tested myself, you can power the UVC 84 via PoE. Looking through the chat, sorry guys, piggyback PoE from speaker to speaker, that would be handy. Yeah, so you can't piggyback. You will need a single Ethernet connection from each speaker back to the PoE switch. Yeah, John, can you allow one of your staff? Yeah, of course. There'll be a recording up on our website. So if you wait a couple of hours, I'll have the recording and also a copy of the presentation slides up on the Alloy website under the events and webinars section, where they can listen to. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, again, Andrew, yes, will be available afterwards. Okay, John, I want to talk about connecting SIP intercoms and door stations. No problem, John. Shoot me through an email and we can talk about that. So it is possible. It just needs to be done via a SBC. So not straightforward, but definitely possible. And yes, Alan, you're right. Switch Telecom can definitely help with direct routing. There's lots of different companies out there that offer direct routing solutions. Do your research and find what's going to be a best fit for you guys. Allo Voice have that option available. Doesn't mean you need to go with us. Just because you buy kit from us doesn't mean you need to use our services. All we're doing is providing the ability for some resellers that do like to have a one-stop solution for support for everything they're providing their customer. So rather than coming to us for support for the phones and then going to company X for support for the voice or direct routing side of it, you can come to us and we can support all of it for you. There's not going to be any of that, okay, no, it's that company's problem, not our problem type thing. So again, entirely up to you guys. Any more questions, guys? I know we've, again, running over time. I hope the webinar has been beneficial for all of you guys. If you do have any questions, please let me know. If you want to ask an audio question, I can unmute you if you like. More questions, guys? Give it another minute or so, just in case you think of something.